Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Aryna Sabalenka sends heartfelt message to Amanda Anisimova on social media after beating her in the US Open final. Aryna Sabalenka and Amanda Anisimova's reactions after the US Open final were both similar and contrasting. As Sabalenka sank to her knees upon winning match point, a wave of emotion overcame the Belarusian, the release of emotional pain collected during her two Grand Slam final losses in 2025. Anisimova, gracious as ever, walked to Sabalenka's end of the court to congratulate and embrace her opponent. The American was later seen crying while sitting on her seat, an understandable emotion considering this was her second Grand Slam final defeat in a row, and an emotion that generated understandable sympathy from former players and fans. No one likes to see a player hurting after such a tough defeat, especially a player so well-liked and respected on the WTA Tour, as is Anisimova. Sabalenka, who won her fourth Grand Slam title, expressed her admiration for Anisimova during a heartwarming social media post on Sunday. Aryna Sabalenka tells Amanda Anisimova, "You are incredible." Following their US Open final, Sabalenka said on Instagram, "I'm speechless right now. All of the tough lessons I've learned this past season, this one makes it all worth it. It's beyond my wildest dream to be holding this trophy again." More than a trophy, Sabalenka's message to Anisimova after US Open final. Under the glowing lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium, the air was electric. The crowd buzzed with the kind of energy only New York could summon. Equal parts chaos and celebration. Cameras flashed, fans roared, and in the middle of it all stood Aryna Sabalenka, breathing heavily, hands trembling, her face flushed not just from effort, but from emotion. She had just won her second US Open title. The scoreboard read, Sabalenka def. Anisimova 4-6, 7-5, 6-3. But this final was more than just a three-set thriller. It was a story of grit, redemption, heartbreak, and resilience. And both women had bled for it, metaphorically and almost literally. Sabalenka stood at the net, clutching her racket like a lifeline. Across from her, Amanda Anisimova walked forward, wiping sweat from her brow, her expression unreadable. When they met at the net, Aryna looked Amanda in the eyes, not as an opponent, but as a kindred spirit. They shared a moment, just a brief one. A hand squeeze, a nod, a whisper no one heard. Later that night, as the trophy sparkled under stadium lights and reporters chased soundbites, the moment could have been lost. But Sabalenka hadn't forgotten it. Hours later, a post that broke the internet. At 2:03 a.m., when most of New York had either gone to sleep or passed out in celebration, Aryna Sabalenka posted something unexpected to her social media accounts. No flashy pictures with the trophy. No brand tags. Just a simple note, typed on her iPhone Notes app and shared with the world. At Sabalenka, tonight was unforgettable. But not just because of the trophy. Amanda, this message is for you. We've both walked through fire to be here. I know how much you've been through. The world sees the athlete, the result, the headlines. But I see the fighter. The woman who came back when everyone counted her out. The girl who carried grief on her shoulders and still managed to smile through it. You made me better tonight. You pushed me to places I didn't think I could reach. This wasn't a battle. It was a dance between two people who love the sport so deeply it hurts. You'll win this title one day. And when you do, I'll be there, probably screaming too loud from the stands. Thank you for this final. Thank you for being you. With respect and love. Aryna Yellow Art. Within minutes, the post went viral. Fans flooded the comments. This is what sport is all about. Real queens support each other. I'm crying at 2 a.m. over tennis? Even Amanda Anisimova responded, reposting the message with a simple caption. Nothing but love. We'll do this again. Blackheart. The final more than a match. Earlier that evening, few could have predicted what kind of match the US Open Women's final would become. On paper, Aryna Sabalenka was the favorite, the world number 2, the reigning Australian Open champion, known for her power game and steely nerves. Amanda Anisimova, on the other hand, was the comeback story of the year. After a long hiatus from the tour, battling injuries and personal struggles, She had clawed her way back into form, taking out three seeded players en route to her first Grand Slam final. The match began with Anisimova on fire, painting lines, returning Sabalenka's serves with lethal precision. She took the first set 6-4, and the murmurs began. Was this going to be another Cinderella story? But Sabalenka wasn't done. In the second set, she shifted gears, mixing heavy ground strokes with surprising finesse. Still, it was Amanda who broke first, going up 5-4. But nerves crept in. A double fault. A missed volley. Sabalenka broke back, then ran off the next two games to steal the set 7-5. The decider was a test of endurance. Rallies stretched into 20 shots. At one point, both players were bent over, gasping. The crowd alternated chants. "Let's go, Aryna!" to "Come on, Amanda!" It wasn't just a match. It was a battle for the soul of women's tennis. In the end, it was Sabalenka's experience and raw power that pulled her through, closing out the final set 6-3 with an ace down the tee. She fell to her knees. Not in arrogance, but in exhaustion. The history between them. Though this was their first Grand Slam final together, Sabalenka and Anisimova had a history that wasn't widely known. Both had lost parents young. Both had faced harsh criticism during slumps. And both had been heralded as the next big thing, and watched that hype shift to others. In press conferences over the years, they'd spoken about each other with warmth and quiet understanding. They weren't best friends off court, but there was a silent bond, one rooted in survival. Tonight, that bond was on display for the world to see. The message's impact. In the days following the final, Sabalenka's message to Anisimova became more than a viral moment. It sparked conversations across the sports world about empathy, mental health, and the hidden toll of elite competition. Billie Jean King tweeted, "This is leadership. This is love. This is the future of tennis." Naomi Osaka, herself no stranger to vulnerability on the public stage, posted, "Reading Sabalenka's message gave me chills. I know how hard this life can be. Women supporting women like this, that's power." Anisimova, meanwhile, kept a lower profile. She returned home quietly, declining major interviews, but released a short video a week later. "I didn't win the title, but I gained something more valuable, perspective. Aryna reminded me why I fell in love with tennis in the first place. We play to win, yes, but we also play to connect, to grow, to heal. I'll never forget that final. A rivalry reborn." By the time the WTA finals rolled around later that year, the Sabalenka-Anisimova match was already being dubbed the new classic. Fans were calling it the start of a new era, a rivalry not built on drama or hatred, but mutual respect and shared humanity. When they faced off again in the semifinals of the year-end championships, the crowd gave them a standing ovation before the match even started. They smiled at each other across the net, and this time Anisimova won. In 3 sets. After the match, Sabalenka walked over, hugged her tight, and whispered something again. Cameras caught Amanda's smile. Later that night, she posted on social media, "Told you I'd win one. Thank you for believing, Aryna. Your message that night meant more than you'll ever know." Final thoughts, beyond the baseline. In a world of fleeting fame and highlight reels, Aryna Sabalenka's message to Amanda Anisimova reminded fans what sports can be at their best. Not just competition, but communion. Not just victory, but vulnerability. Their match will be remembered for its drama. But their connection? That's what made it legendary.